assist. So we are coming here to seek the interdiction from all those members of the Operation Dudula and the March in March and all other citizens who may want to act unlawfully. We believe in that. South Africa is not a banana republic. They have laws and the constitution bind the law enforcement to do what is right. So we believe in the judicial system of South Africa and we have very much confidence that they will assist. So we are coming here to seek the interdiction from all those members of the Operation Dudula and the March in March and all other citizens who may want to act unlawfully.
Yeah, at least we'll know what is the agenda behind the people who are funding them. Can we see the faces of the people who are funding them? That's a big problem because you can't advocate for such illegality in a country and then we don't know who is funding you. Which agenda are you pushing? We must know who is funding them, then we start to understand what is the...
Nothing. Sure, I would do honestly.
Things was I'm going to bring into the conversation from the Southern Africa Refugee Organization Forum, Eric Medal, to speak to us. You are here in court. Obviously, there is an application that you filed and you are calling for a number of things, especially pertaining to the prevention of immigrants from accessing public health care in South Africa.
Yes, that is true. Especially we are here to enforce the law enforcement, especially the Minister of Health and the Minister of Police to do their work.
And what does this application in particular entail? What is it that you are calling for really?
Our application which we brought to court is to interdict the March and March and the Operation Dudula members from denying the refugees and asylum seekers, in a particular documented one, from accessing the health facilities. In the incidents which has been happening, we saw them operating around and outside the hospitals and the clinic, and no one is assumed to care. And in the other aspect, there is some nurses in some clinic without the members of the Operation Dudula and the March in March. They're the one who are turning away their clients whom they should assist. So we are coming here to seek the interdiction from all those members of the Operation Dudula and the March in March and all other citizens who may want to act unlawfully.
And, you know, when we speak about the reasons why these movements, the March and March movement, have been stating, you know, in terms of why they are doing this, as well as members from the Operation Dudula, is that this is also part of the fight against illegal immigration, and that entirely immigrants are, in fact, taking resources from the public health care system, which is in fact supposed to be utilized for South Africans.
That is totally a lie, especially Operation Dudula. We recently heard them speaking that they went into some coalition agreement with the political parties to get their political position into parliament. So it's not about illegal immigration, it's for them to feed their political ambitions with no cause. Because if we say illegal immigration, the police and the immigration, they are arresting people on a daily basis and they're deporting them. And those who are here, and the one we are defending, they are legally and documented refugee and asylum seekers. So their anger is even directed to the wrong people. We can say they are targeting the easy targets.
Yeah. And do you think you stand a chance in this battle now that you have, you know, resorted to seeking assistance from the judiciary?
We believe in that. South Africa is not a banana republic. They have laws and the constitution bind the law enforcement to do what is right. So we believe in the judicial system of South Africa and we have very much confidence that they will assist.
And in the past, you've made, you know, a remark, an allegation that you believe what is happening is in fact politically motivated and that there are leaders within government who have a hand in this. And I'm wondering, where does all of that come from?
We say that exactly, and it's pertaining from what we have heard some leaders speaking. As I said before, we saw the speech of the Premier when he said that he's going to speak to the MC of health in KwaZulu-Natal, that the only people carrying a South African ID should access the health facilities. And immediately that happened, after a few days from that speech, We have Mr. Mackenzie, who is a minister in the government. He's been saying it without sharing away that even if there is a machine supporting a refugee or an asylum seeker, he can take it out so that South Africa can get access to what they deserve. So we have a proof of that, depending on what the politicians and the leaders are saying.
Thank you so much for your time. That was Eric Medal speaking to us, Michelle, essentially painting a picture with regards to why they have different from accessing public health care here in South Africa. So the courts actually found that the matter was not even supposed to be deemed as an urgent one, that it does not even recognize this application as an urgent application because, the prevention of these immigrants started in July, but the forum had to wait until August to actually, raise this particular matter with the court. So, the matter has been struck off the roll with the legal, the attorney over there saying that the ministers actually had nothing to do with this and that proper processes were not even followed before the matter was actually brought to court, saying that probably if, some sort of formal letter was handed to those hospitals which are currently being blocked and have the hospital reach out to the Minister of Health. And then should the Minister of Health not, respond to that and blatantly ignore it, then they were probably going to have some sort of a ground to or a feet to stand on regarding the matter. But we did also mention that the March and March movement members were in court, as well as those of Operation Dudula, to sit in and listen to that particular matter being heard. I'm going to bring in Sfiso from Operation Dudula to speak to us. He was in court, this morning. Thank you so much for your time. You were excited to hear that the matter has been struck off the roll. If you could tell us why exactly were you that excited?
Thank you very much, and greetings to your viewers. We are very happy and excited with the manner in which the court dealt with this matter. Because since they say that is an urgent matter, and the court says there is nothing urgent about this matter, because they said they should have brought it around July when we started doing this activity. So I want to add to say that these, I wish to say, are waste of time court cases. The court matters they bring to court, because these, we see that there is a concerted effort to stretch the overburden justice system of South Africa. So that is a problem, and we are very concerned as Operation Dudula and March with the activities and the approach these NGOs are doing. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And, to keep an open mind, there is, of course, a possibility that now it would have to be Operation Dudula as well as the March and March movement that the forum comes after, because at this particular point, both the ministers are seemingly off the hook for now. And I'm wondering, should that happen, would you be intimidated by this? Because they are quite adamant and committed to ensuring that they continue with this battle.
Yeah, let them bring it on. We are ready. We are not intimidated. We see these people are just wasting their time. And unfortunately, we are also very concerned with the manner in which they operate. And we're starting to suspect, because we are picking some elements of terrorism in their approach. Because if you look at how they start to come in the fore now, even challenging some constitutionality of some sections of the Constitution, especially the Immigration Act. Now we have a problem, because when we say we start to suspect them, that these people are funded by terrorist groups, whether you're Al-Shabaab, ISIS, Boko Haram, they must disclose who is funding them so that we know what is their agenda. Because that's the suspicion we hold as Operation Dudula, because of the approach they do. They want to turn South Africa into a banana republic. These things happen because when you are not watching, when we are not looking, the country will be turned into a banana republic by their approach. May they please disclose, because there are many of them starting to take Operation Dudula and march to court, and even challenging and taking the ministers to court. in their approach now, you see that they are working very hard, and the energy they are showing to make sure that South Africa is ungovernable. This is a type of element that we see in some terrorist activities. That's why we say, may they disclose the documents that show who is funding these people, to an extent that they pay and they employ such expensive lawyers to take these matters to court. That is our problem, and we are pleading with them to please make sure that we must know who is funding them.
So when you know who's funding them, what's going to happen?
Yeah, at least we'll know what is the agenda behind the people who are funding them. Can we see the faces of the people who are funding them? That's a big problem, because you can't advocate for such illegality in a country and then we don't know who is funding you. Which agenda are you pushing? We must know who is funding them, then we start to understand what is their agenda. That's a main problem now, because they advocate for illegality. They say even if a police officer, as Section 41 of the Immigration Act is saying that a police officer should stop and inquire the nationality of any person, but they are challenging the constitutionality of that section. So that's the problem.
But when you speak of, terrorism and such organizations, do you have any evidence, though, to back this suggestion?
Yeah, as I'm saying that we suspect because of the manner they conduct themselves. The manner they conduct themselves and the manner in which they advocate for illegalities. Such elements used to appear when there are activities by terrorist group. They want a country to be ungovernable, to turn to a banana republic, so that they continue with their activities in that country. So we suspect, we hold that suspicion, and we will let go of that suspicion the day they disclose who is funding them.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. That was Operation Dudula's Sfiso speaking to us, Stephen, really on what they are making from that particular court proceeding that we witnessed, and also, coming up with suspicions, saying that they feel as if, they are some sort of organizations which are terrorists backing this particular organization, but quite very serious suspicions coming through from that particular conversation. Where does the evidence even come from?
Beautiful, beautiful South Africans. We are at a time where we're seeing foreign interest, or well, if I use the words that the gentleman used here, it's saying that they're saying that these people are actually without a shadow of a doubt probably having some terrorist intentions. And you would start to ask yourself, why is this person saying this? And this is not only him. A lot of South Africans have always said we need to really begin to ask, who are funding these people? Who are funding these people that they feel that they can come and take us, on our people in South Africa, to the courts, try to force them and say that they must enforce the law? What actual interest do these people represent? Are these people actually genuine? Why can't they fight to take their people back to their country? Why can't they fight for that at least? And say that, South Africans, we are sorry that we've been intruding in your country, and we ask that should people be brought there, treat them, give us the bill, and every month we will pay bills of foreign nationals. Why are they not coming up with such solutions, telling us about enforcing the laws in our country? Maybe we should also begin to talk about the laws in their country and having actual in real context, the real and the honest laws that they have in their countries. Then we treat them accordingly, because we see these people coming to our countries and thinking that they can give us laws, whereas in their countries we respect those laws. So it makes me begin to fail to understand what is it that is the real agenda of these rogue elements. Because these people are rogue. They are rogue, advocating for lawlessness and saying that the people should enforce the laws of this country. And I'm glad that they did not win this in terms of urgency. They need to take their own people to their clinics or to go and fix their country so that they do not have to be here. Nobody has. What is an asylum seeker? Telling us about Somalians. How many countries does a Somalian pass or skip before they get to South Africa? For them to be an asylum seeker saying they were running from war. How many countries did they skip? So in all aspects, these people are making a mockery and a joke out of us. In all honesty, I don't know what you think, South Africans, but we need to continue fighting this. Can't be right. We should never stand for it. Salute. Don't buy, sir. Please do like, share, subscribe.
Nothing,
Sure, I would do honestly.